Hi all, I'm Stacy. Welcome to Stacy's Homestead, and today I made some gumbo, and I already made a video on how I make my gumbo, but I didn't make a video on how I can it, so I'm canning it today. And so I made my gumbo how I always make it, and I do use a roux when I can it, which it's recommended by some people to leave out your thickening agent, but I don't, and I never find a problem with it. So, but my kitchen, my rules, right? So, but I have to say that it is not an approved method for like the USDA, yeah. So, anyways, this is what I do. This is what I make a ginormous pot, and it's rabbit gumbo with bacon and sausage, and sometimes I add chicken or duck, but we're just going to can it up like regular for 90 minutes. I got my camera broke, guys, so I'm using my cell phone and it's horrible quality, but my main vlogging camera broke, so I have to save up for a new one. And so in the meantime I have to use this thingy. But anyways, here's my my jars, and I'm using ball lids because I want to do it super fast. But hot jars, hot canner. If you do it cold the next day, it'd be cold jars, cold canner. Warm jars, warm canner. Okay, but so just fill it up, leave a nice generous headspace because, and it's thinned out pretty good. Look, it's not even that thick. Like, it has like a little consistency to it. I like it thinner, so especially for canning. And then I like to add some beans to mine. Anyways, 90 minutes in the pressure canner, and I'll show you when it gets done. 10 pounds for my altitude. Your altitude is different based on how high or low you are sea level wise. So if you're new, you better look that up because it's not always 10 pounds of pressure. But it's based on your altitude, okay? And the ball books, like all your canning books, usually use the standard 10 pounds because that's what most people do. But there's, some that have different elevations that need different weights. But the timing is always the same, like in your cookbooks, your canning books. So, and you can for the longest ingredient. So we got meat in here, and it's a lot of stuff. So we're going to do 90 minutes. Quarts, 75 pints. I have a mess on my counter because it drips. There we go. And just fill her up. Fill her on up. Some people will add extra, sometimes I do too, extra amounts of sausage and meat in your jars. But I'm not doing that. Sometimes when I do this also, I will just make like the broth sometimes and do it separate. But I find it's just easier to do this. And if you don't want to here's the thing, if you don't want to use your roux, you don't have to. You could put a half a teaspoon of clear gel in each jar, and that will be just good. I've done that before too, but I find there's no difference for me. So, yeah, half a teaspoon of clear gel in the jars will make it good to go if you don't want to put your roux in. There we go. But mine's so thin, you want to make sure you have it thin if you use your roux. Okay, that's why I thin it. Because it'll thicken up as you can. You don't want the density issue. So yeah, and then we're going to put our lids on. And start canning. There, okay. Alright, let's get our lids. I'll clean our rims first, huh? Let's clean these rims with some vinegar. All right, so sometimes I just do hot water, sometimes I do vinegar, sometimes I do both. If I do vinegar, I usually wipe afterwards with some hot water just to clean up the vinegar. I don't want my lids rusting. I'm not sure if that helps or not, but that's what I do. All right, let's get the lids. All right, I got a mess here. Dribble, dribble. Okay, so let's put just make sure you only got one. And I find with these ball lids, guys, if you don't tighten them down, ratchet down really hard and then loosen it up and put it on your regular fingertip tight, they don't seal. Like this, you got to curve this for some reason. Or I mean, they don't seal as often on these newer ones. So what I do is I take this and I turn it as hard as I can. I need two hands to do this, but I turn it as hard as I can. And then I would loosen it. Now, let me see if I can show you here. Alright, so I will tighten it. I need gloves or a mitt. It's hot. Darn. Okay, here we go. Alright, so you tighten it down. And then you would loosen it. See, it bends it. It forms it more. And then go ahead and finger tight. And that's what I do for each one of them. I put it on. And then tighten it really tight, tight, tight. And then loosen it and then finger tight, okay? I only have to do that for these newer ball ones. That's what I find, and then I have a 100% success rate, so. Then put them in the canner. Okay, 90 minutes. All right, so I'm pretty sure it's done. Whoosh. Yes, yes. All right, but hold on. All right, let's pull these out. Here. Oh, I'm canning. I'm canning. All right, let's pull these out. Yes. Look at that. I hear some squeaky noises. When that happens, you don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch any that might be going squeaky. Oh, I think it's this one actually. All right. I stopped hearing the hissing noise. Looks really good. Oh, I hear one of those are squeaking, so I'm not going to touch it. This one looks like it's already closed. Yep. This one's closed already. Look at that. They're all bubbling really nicely. Yep, that's it, guys. I have a couple in here still whistling, and I don't want to touch them for safety purposes. Alright, so that's... Alrighty, guys. So that's how I can my gumbo. It usually lasts on my shelf for a long time. I usually eat it all by year 3. I mean, I usually can a lot. I have my next round going in, ready to rock and roll. We're gonna, and then I have one more round, and then I'm done. But that should be enough for like 2 years. I used to make way too much, but now I don't want to can more than 2 years worth of soups, like for me. So I'm trying not to, because I used to can like a lot too much too much. So it would last for several years, and I don't want that right now because I like to rotate. All right, guys, I'm tired. We'll just talk to you later. Peace.